My name is Brandon, and along with my wife Vanessa, we've been building our dream YouTube studio.
It's like butter!
Now we run a couple different YouTube channels, and this is imperative that we get this done pretty quickly. Today, we're working on two essential pieces of the YouTube studio. First is sealing the concrete floor so that no moisture gets into the studio itself, and then we need to be working on the podcast desk. This is going to be a huge focal point for our podcast, and it's going to be an amazing, amazing addition to how we actually shoot them in the first place.
Perfect!
So, let's get into today's episode, and welcome to the Snipe Life. Welcome back to the studio. Today we are trying to finalize this thing. Now, over the next few days, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be sealing the floor. Now that everything's painted and kind of ready to go, we're gonna be moving in furniture tonight, hopefully, and then we'll see what happens from there. We just got hit by this huge cold front, which makes everything even more difficult. So I've got space heaters in here trying to heat up this space in order to basically just allow me to even put the sealant on the concrete. So I'm gonna do my first test right now to see how it all works, if it's going to actually work in this cold, and yeah, we'll go from there. So as always, as this project has been the last month, it's always a tentative process. So let's see how it goes. So I was going to wait until later. I went to Lowe's and wanted to see if they had any more dry lock. They didn't have any gray, so I actually got white, which I think I really wanted in the first place, but they didn't have to begin with. So I got a lot of white dry lock, and now I don't have much time in my day after changing my plans a couple times. So yeah, I have like an hour maybe to try to get this done. So I'm going to try to get as much done as I can with 5 gallons of dry lock, see if that covers this whole place, and then yeah, we'll go from there. I just think today is pretty much the only day that I can do this. It's getting too cold, and this is the only day that's above 50 degrees that I'm able to kind of do this as the product says it's supposed to be used. So all right, I gotta go. I gotta get to this. Here we go. Even though I didn't think I could get it done, I did get the floor done today. I'm gonna have to do the rest of it probably with a brush later on, so that I'm not worried about as much. At least I can put furniture on this within the next 24 hours or so, and that'll be a big part of how we can get this set up, and I have to get this set up in a couple of days, so that's the goal here. Now that this is done, that's really, really good. Then we can move furniture tonight, not into here, but at least we can move it to this location from our rental house, and then we can put stuff in here probably in the next couple of days. So today we're in the creepy basement and I'm trying to build a piece of furniture. Particularly, I need a desk for my podcast. It's going to look like a half moon desk with a flat front and a rounded inside. The whole point of this is that we can have conversation, speak to each other, and hopefully have as many as 5 guests. I think that would be, 5 people total in the podcast, so 2 guests at a time would be really, really amazing. I don't think we'll have that many people very often, but it would be nice to have for the future, just in case we had, a pair of directors or somebody else that's coming on the podcast to talk about their Christian faith, as well as creativity and all that goes into that. So I don't really know what I'm doing, but I do have some semblance of a plan. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is creating, of course, this half moon shape out of a large piece of 4x8, and then from there, I'm going to be kind of structurally enhancing it, trying to make it so that it is as solid as possible. I want this thing to be a, hunk of wood, essentially. So the goal is now to make a semicircular shape from this, and I basically want to use the entire length of a full 8-foot sheet of this to have the desk be relatively large. Again, we want as many people as possible to be able to fit around this table and have natural conversations for the podcast, and so that's the plan here. I also need to determine how tall I want this desk. I really like the height of my normal desk here, so I might just reference that, but not 100% sure what the best practice is for this quite yet. So I'm going to do some research as well as I'm kind of planning and doing all this, and yeah, we'll figure out exactly what the height needs to be as well.
Do you lie awake at night? Are you afraid to turn out the lights? Is there something you're scared of? What's there out in the dark? Make sure to keep all your windows locked. Do you surrender? You try to stay awake. These walls you can't escape. Here's one for the lonely hearts, for the ones that fear the dark. You better run out of here. Bet you can't look the other way. Here's one for the broken road. That's the only one you know. You better run out.
All right, got my general shape cut out here. Obviously, it's not perfect, but it's about what I want there. I think the size is really, really good. I really like the size. And now I'm going to try to route the outside edge here to round it off. We'll see how that goes. Have I ever used a router before? No. All right, did some experiments with the router, some different bits, figured out what I want, and now to do it. Hopefully I don't just ruin this whole thing, but I did leave extra space just for me to experiment on the edges there, and then I'm also going to sand it afterwards to make sure everything's smooth and nice, and then I'm also going to cover it with other stuff, so it won't be a huge deal if I do mess up some parts of it, but hopefully I don't. So let's get into it. Here we go. Throw away our test piece here. To the most dangerous tool in the shop, as I've heard. That wasn't actually anywhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Came out all right. I would be fine with this personally, but I do want to clean it up, make it look as nice as I possibly can. So I'm going to sand some of the transition from the router bit and then around the edges, try to make it a little bit more semicircular. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. This is, a half moon table if I've seen one. So now it's time to figure out the rest of the table. Of course, we're going to clean this up, but we're also going to need to figure out the framing of the rest of the table, and we need to figure out the front piece. I think I'm going to make the front piece out of MDF. I do have an extra piece of that from the studio, and it'll make it easier if I want to paint that or do some different designs on the front of it, like maybe a God-made logo or something like that. And so I'm going to do that, but I have to cut it down to size. It's pretty much going to stay straight. I'm not really going to do anything to it. Maybe I'll round the edges now that I know how to do that with the router, but I'm going to keep it pretty much as it is. I'm just going to cut it down to the right height so that it can sit in front of the desk as kind of the front-facing part of it.
just all in my head. Floating rivers upstream, the things that you said. Tell me and be honest. Tell me, did you know that you would believe in me just like the winner?
Rule number 1, don't cut my favorite desk. I ended up just a tiny bit taller than my desk here. Figured that would give us some wiggle room if we needed to cut some off. I didn't want to be too low, so I think this should be good as well. This height right here. So this will be the height of the desk right here, about an inch taller than my desk. Luckily, along with buying this house, we inherited some wood as well. So here's a 2x4 I'm going to use for the framing, at least for portions of it. We also have some 2x10s, I believe they are. I haven't measured them, but they're pretty large pieces of wood that we're going to cut down as well. So I think I'm going to do kind of like a sandwich of the 2x4s and the 2x10s in between as kind of like columns within the desk. And we'll do like a splayed out pattern so that they can kind of go around the semicircle. I want enough leg room, of course, to fit everybody's legs and not be in the way of anything. So it's comfortable sitting there for long periods of time, especially if we're doing a podcast. It could be, 3-4 hours sitting at this thing at some point. So just want to make sure it's all comfortable as we sit there, make sure it's the right height where you can lean on it and, you're comfortable sitting there. So anyway, I think I've got all that. I don't know. I'm not a furniture maker, as I've said several times in this video, but let's get cutting this 2x4. Alright, now that Vanessa's here, we're going to try to put this thing together. 2-man team. 1 man, 1 woman team.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna need gloves. I got pansy hands.
Okay, we're going to fix all that stuff.
I'm thinking. What?
Alright, this is going to come down, and this side needs to go over there.
Okay, then both down your way.
I know. All the way so that it's going to leave out a little lip here. So this will come forward like this.
They all work for everything?
Careful putting your hand behind. Keep it pretty close to your fingers. How is this gonna work? What level do you want it there? That's not going in.
Arbitrary numbers. 45 to
something.
Now the middle one isn't. Give me the straight edge, please. Lift up this thing. Remembers? Alright, it is what it is. Give me the thing. Perfect! Okay, do the thing. Do the thing where you mark. Hello?
How are you gonna get out of there?
I don't know. How am I gonna get out of here? Okay, I get out of here. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is a little wobbly, but that's okay. I think we can double up this OSB, make that more rigid. We can also add in more things here to make that more rigid. No, I'm happy with it so far.
I think it's starting to look good.
You sure?
No, for real. I don't like how the legs ended up, but that's my perfectionism. Like, you gotta be okay with how I think. The middle didn't end up being straight. Like, I even tried to square it up and everything, but it's just not. We just didn't have the table squared up. That's why I thought having it on the floor would have been better. But it is what it is. And then the space between all the legs are different, so.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though.
But it's holding, like from the front.
Yeah.
I think I'm in the middle. Don't tickle me! That was so close to my hand.
Is that the middle? You got it?
That is the middle. Keep put it there again. Put her there.
Is it going?
No, I just have the back angle. I can't hold it. Perf. 4. What do you want to show?
No, I'm just saying how out it is. I knew it would have perfect, but.
Huh?
A little bit droopy down here. As you can see, it works as a table. I built this. Doubter.
I never doubted you. Listen, I've gotten splinters on my hands, possibly on my butt, on my legs. These are my good pants, and you need me work in them?
No.
What do you mean?
I did not make you work in your good pants.
You said, I need you.
Yeah, and you had plenty of time to go change.
I was cooking.
We were eating dinner, and then you cooked, and then you did a bunch of different stuff. Anyway, I'll finish this up tomorrow. Hopefully, at least get it further along the way. I think I'm going to put another piece of OSB on the top to give it some rigidity and some more thickness on the top.
How many C's?
At least 3 C's for sure. Then I'll route the edge of that, and then I'll be able to put a cover on. I think that will allow us actually to keep these angles on the angle iron things, the shelf brackets on the sides at least. And then we'll have to figure out what we want to do in the front. I might have to go to Harbor Freight and get like a metal or a screw cutting oscillating blade. Maybe that would help, and then we can cut off those.
That's a thing.
Yeah, that's what I said I was gonna get. Anyway, so I'm gonna finish it up tomorrow. Welcome to another build day. After getting some more pieces cut, I decided I want to do a trim piece here. So I just need to cut them to size here, and then we can plug them into those angle irons that we had in the corners here. That's helping the desk to be really rigid, which is great. But we need to cover up these spikes on top and give them something to go into. I also brought in a piece of OSB, which I'm going to double up the top with. This will help it give the rigidity for the top so that when we're leaning on the table, it doesn't bend as much. It's actually not horrible. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but I think adding an extra layer of OSB on top, which I have the sheet, I might as well do it, right? Will help it to just have that much more rigidity, and then we can kind of beef it up from there if we need to. So I think this is a good plan. Do the trim here, OSB on top, and then we'll kind of go from there. But overall, I'm really happy with the shape of it and the look of it. I think on camera it's going to look great. Of course, it's not going to be raw wood. We're going to have some vinyl on top that's going to finish the top of it, and it's going to look like wood essentially, hopefully, on camera. And then on the front, I think I'm going to paint it white with the same paint that we painted the walls in here, and so it'll kind of match the aesthetic of the room. And then eventually I'd love to put like a logo on the front of it. I just got to figure out how I want to do that. Maybe we could get like a vinyl sign or something that would hang on the front and make it look like really professional. But we'd have to see where we want to go with that. But first things first, let me cut down these trim pieces, get those in place, and start figuring out how I want to finish this thing, because I'd like to get it done today, at least to a point where we can use it, and then we can kind of paint everything and do everything later. That's the goal. Let's get to it.
Child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. You're the life you've tried.
Now it's time to reroute the table, get back to that semicircular shape, and I think this is going to be really, really solid. Actually, first I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and see if I can get a screw cutting oscillating tip or oscillating bit. So I can cut off these screws. I put the OSB on top, which helped a lot for rigidity, but the screws are still poking up a little bit, so I just need to cut off the very tip of them. There's about half an inch or maybe less sticking up out of the OSB, so gotta fix that first, and then I can kind of route around everything and make it how it wants. So let's do that. New carbide tip. This should do it, hopefully. I know nothing about these things, but this seemed like the one to get it done, so let's try it. Yeah, I'd say that worked a lot better. All my batteries are dead, so now I gotta go charge them, and then I can finish this off. Pretty close, It's going well. I was cutting out some of this with a jigsaw, so just getting a rough cut on it, that way I can router it without taking off too much material and going crazy. So, we'll get back to that in a moment. I gotta go charge some batteries though. Batteries charged, back to the work.
Okay, the truth of the matter is he already showed me it, but I was like, you just should have gotten my reaction. It's solid on the push down. Remember how yesterday we pushed it down and it was sagging a lot, and then he had another like he probably already talked through all this, but it feels really solid. It's a little wobbly, but I think with some bracing, it'll be fine.
I think this is a great size.
Look how cool he looks.
Personally. Podcast. Welcome to the podcast.
It's like butter!
Another day, another studio build, and we are so close to being done. This desk is almost done. We just need to add a few more legs, some bracing, and then we can kind of finish it with some vinyl, wood vinyl on the top and on the trim, and then white paint in the middle section here. So nothing too crazy. I think it's going to look great when it's done, and then eventually we can add like logos to it and things like that, which would be really cool as well. But we'll see where we go with there. And then we need to move in my actual studio stuff so that I can start working in here pretty soon. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot to move. So the goal is to move all that stuff in so that in the next week or so I can start working in here and actually have an office again, actually have a studio to actually film things. So that's the goal. Let's get to it. No time to waste today.
Are we gonna go vertical or horizontal?
Horizontal this way, and then vertical on the front.
Or why not scissors? Why not scissors?
It doesn't matter that much, but I didn't say that. You said that.
No, say it one more time.
Melamine.
Melamine?
Yes.
Like she mean.
Yes.
Don't. Let's get 1 second. Hold off. Hold. How satisfying. Ma. And then. Why did we have to do both ends?
Good, grab this. I got the paper. You grab this.
Wait.
Look at the black one.
Wait.
Okay.
That's a lot. I have a lot of overhang.
You just don't care about.
I forgot we were filming. Don't listen, I'm gonna say something so that I can't hear that noise anymore. You're welcome. Okay, I tried covering my ears and that didn't work. I expected it to.
Look how short she is.
Stop!
If you want to see us finishing the desk and then getting on to some really hairy DIY stuff, definitely check out our next video. We'll see you guys then. All right.
Peace.